And that's one of the things I feel so strongly about. And watching this group of elders work as a group of peers, giving themselves confidence to talk to their doctors about the end of life, to talk to their children about the end of life, to take control of their life instead of letting it be run by a very superficial and highly expensive value system. Extend life.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I hear you. You know, the cost of the adolescent. Not so. Each of the Lost Rites has this incredible value in our society. You know, if we don't have a passage and a rite of passage for adolescents that's very specific and helps guide them through that process, we have people who never step into adulthood.
People who never step into adulthood, or who get there just perplexed.
Yeah.
Or, by the way, who suffer too much in adolescence.
Right.
And don't even know that their suffering is of value.
Right, exactly. Yeah, that's the thing, looking back on adolescence, everyone says, oh, I wouldn't want to live through that again. Yeah. And you know, and there's a level of, people don't often say, and everything I suffered through built, you know, is the metal by which I'm made.
That's right.
Built me.
Yeah.
Because we just look at it as suffering for no reason.
Yeah.
Versus it having a reason.
That's right.
And if people don't transition, you know, don't navigate the midlife passage, you know, what happens? It's like, you know, you just, the emptiness, you never become deeply connected to who you are. You know?
Yeah. Let me jump ahead a little bit on this, if I may. Carl Jung, who's the Swiss psychologist, who, by the way, went through a terrible crisis himself and coined the phrase midlife crisis. That began with Jung as he reflected on his own experience. Jung has this amazing sentence, which is, you cannot live the afternoon of life according to the program of the morning. Let me say it again. You cannot live the afternoon of life according to the program of the morning. For what in the morning was true will by the afternoon become a lie.
And that's related to the stage of life, right?
It's related to the stage of life. That what you do in that period of time from birth to adolescence, you're related fundamentally to your parents. Right. What you do from adolescence to midlife is when you're making a name for yourself, when you're finding your place in society, when you're frankly searching for fame and fortune, building your resume.
Right.
And at some point, it's sort of good if that begins to feel hollow. It's not fulfilling to have all this money. It's not fulfilling to have all this stuff.
But it's supposed to be. That's what I mean. That's like
and it is when you're 35.
Right.
It's not when you're 45.
Right. But our entire culture
does
built
that.
upon this idea that success means you have achieved.
That's right.
You know, financial viability, financial success.
Right.
And there's a sense that we're moving away from that, from our cultural value, right? So like I see it in social media, I see it in my peers. It's like I'm minimizing my life. They're saying this. They're saying it. You know, they're moving away from this idea that volume and dollars and having stuff is not important. But the ego of like, I want to actually be seen in the world.
That's right.
As having done that is part of that mix, you know, like, and that I'm successful in my career and all those pieces that I think that become a moment in time by which people can say, what does this all mean?
Yeah.
Right? Like, what am I really doing this for?
Yeah. Yeah. And by the way, if you go through midlife and you never ask that question, you will still grow older.
Right.
That's the passage.
Right.
It will happen.
Right.
When you have a rite of passage, it invites you in these sort of mysterious things. We call them mystery rites. It invites you to sink much more deeply into your own value system, to see how it might be different from somebody else, and to begin to prepare a value system that works for the rest of your life. To finish that Jung quote, you cannot live the morning of life you cannot live the afternoon of life according to the program of the morning. Let me say that again. You cannot live the afternoon of life according to the program of the morning, because what was true in the morning will be the afternoon be a lie. He then goes on and says, if you try to live the afternoon of life according to the program of the morning, you will do damage to your soul.